Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Calligraphy for Beginners. How's everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. A sip of. Today we're going to be looking at the majuscules. Last time we did the minuscules, and this time we're doing the majuscules. A lot of people use different words for these things. For the ways that people use these letters. So this is just the way that I do for me. Okay? If you want to learn from somebody else, by all means, knock yourself out. I am not a master, but I think I know enough that I can teach you guys a little something. So the first 5 letters that we're going to go over are the A, the V, the M, and the M. The A, the V, the W, the M, and the M. So the A, let's start off on here's our we're going to call this our baseline, and this is our second ascender. So we're going to start at the baseline. I'm going to curve up to, we're basically making a reverse universal line of beauty. So let me So the universal line of beauty starts at the second ascender and comes in an arc, and then a straight line, and then another arc. An arc is just a slight curve. So when we go from the top to the bottom, we got a little pressure in the middle, and then out. But when we go the opposite way, a reverse universal line of beauty, we go against the universal line of beauty in a sort of more slanted angle. This is approximately a 50-degree line. So you're going to come up and you're going to do a 50, and then you're going to do a universal line of beauty down to the bottom, and then a loop and through, crossing in the middle. Can't even see what I'm doing. So we go up against the 55, and then down on the 55, and then a loop and through, crossing in the middle. So up on the 50, down on the 55, up to the X height, loop around, and give it a bow tie in the middle. It should look like a bow tie in the middle. You can also do an A like this and come straight down the 55 and then make it look like a bow tie in the middle. When you're doing flourished A, you may choose to do something like this. This is also how do you do one of the H's? Alright, so the next one is the V. V starts out with a compound curve that goes from the X height to the second ascender, back down to the X height, and then back up to the second ascender. And then it comes universal line down to the baseline, and then we're going to do the opposite of this. We're going to come away from that stem, up and out. Okay. Alright. Gonna remove my face so I can just show you guys what's going on. Okay, so then the W is the same way. Let's mark off our X height. There's our baseline. Mark off our X height. So that would be our X height. And we're going to start with the W. The W is kind of like a V. Start off with a compound curve. Universal line down to the baseline. We're going to come up to the first ascender at a 50 degree angle. A loop down to the baseline. And then up on the 55 degree angle. So we have compound curve down, up, down, and then up. So we go down on the 55, up on the 50, down on the 55, and then up on the 50. Okay? This one, no. Then we have M, which is the opposite of the N of the W. So we go up on the 50, down on the 55, up on the 50, down on the 55. So we come quarter X height down to the baseline, up on the 50, universal line down to the baseline, up on the 50, universal line down to the baseline, and out. The N goes up on the 55. This is the only way that it works. This is the only way that it separates from the other letters. Because when you go up, you go against the 55, and when you go down, you go on the 55. But the N is the exception. The N, you go up on the 55, and then this leads almost straight down, and then up on the 55 and out. So that way the entire letter is bisected by the 55. Okay? So let's look at them on another line. So A, we'll do M, we'll do N, a W, and then V, and then N. Oops. baseline. The A, the M, the W, the V. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then the N. Okay. And if you don't have this, all you have is guidelines and a piece of paper. Let's see, mark off next height. We're going to go up against the 55, down the 55, over and through, and then up against the 55, down the 55, up against the 55, down the 55, compound curve, down the 55, against the 55, down the 55, against the 55. V, okay, and then the N. The N kind of looks like it's leaning. So, the other way you could do these is, so, parallelograms. You can go across and then down, or you can go up the 55 and over and then down. So go really way over, and then the M is kind of a swoop up, so you can go like that, or you can come from the top and go down universal line of beauty, and then universal line of beauty, universal line of beauty. It's just all dependent on the angles. Hello, Kim. How are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? Okay, let's see. So, where is my ruler? I need a smaller ruler. That's a 55 ish. 55 ish. Huh. Good, very well, thank you. A, we go against the 55 and then swoop in, and then we go universal line of beauty down to the bottom, and then looping through, making sure to give it a bow tie in the middle. So you can come, give it a little foot, and then up the 55, and then over, and then down another 55, bow tie in the middle, or you can go foot on the bottom, up 55, over, down to the baseline, come from underneath A, through and swoop in, or you can go universal line of beauty down, loop and through, and then down on the 55. All kinds of beautiful ways that you can make letters. The M, let's drop a couple down, mark up next time. Go up against the 55, universal line of beauty down, up against the 55, and an underturn. Some people go into a loop, universal line of beauty down, reverse universal line of beauty up, and an underturn. Some people go for the straight, go straight up, straight down, straight up, straight down, and out. That's my preferred method. It's just easier this way. A little wiggle, not too much. Try and keep the the space on the inside of these the same-ish. This one's a little off. Maybe not that one. Maybe not that one. And maybe not that one. But this one definitely. The W, drop a couple down, mark off next time. W, we do a compound curve at the top, line down to the bottom, against the 55 up. And we do kind of this straight down, and then go up on the 55. Or we go down on the 55, up against the 55, down on the 55, up against the 55, and out. I have seen people go straight down, up on the 55, straight down, and then up on the 55, but then it's leaning a little backwards. It's not leaning frontwards like it should with the 55-degree angle. So try and always make your things lean the same way if you're making letters. Okay, drop a couple down, mark off an exit. V is the same way. I'm trying to compound curve, a little wiggle down, then I come away from that line like we do with the H, and then up and out and in. Trying to make it fancy. You can do the same thing with a W. So V, you can do a horizontal oval into a compound curve. Make a big old fancy flourish up at the top, or something very simple. So, just depends on how you want to do. And then last is the N. The N, and up the 55, straight down, and then up back on the 55. So we're going to give it a little foot, come up, and then kind of wiggle straight down, and then up on the 55. Some people get a little fancy. They go under, turn up, wiggle down, and like they do with the V and the W. Really fancy, out and up and in. So, something very simple is much preferred over something that you can't read. Some people even put compound curve in there. So it just depends on what you're into, how you want to make your letters, but make sure and keep them the same all the way through your piece, however you're going to make your piece. So there we have the A, the M, the W, the V, and the N. How far am I in? 25 minutes. Let's go to the second set, shall we? The second set is the K, the H, the K, the I, the J, and the T, and the F. Let's stick with the H and the K. So the H and the K, I'm going to do kind of a weird compound curve, universal line of beauty down to the bottom, give it a little foot, come in from the top, and then a loop in through, make sure you're giving it a bow tie in the middle, or you can just compound curve up, universal line of beauty down, down, loop in through, bow tie in the middle, or you can do a compound curve, turn that loop into one of these, or you can go for the over, down, down, over and through, or you can do the over, as I like to call the crazy freeway. This is also how you do an X, but we won't get to that just today. So there's all the ways to do an H. And then the K. Drop a couple down. The K can start off the same way. So we go like up, compound curve, above the second ascender, down and into the middle of the spine, out to the same place, the same parallelogram that we brought that downward. A motion to the K, and then an underturn out. So we can also do it as a compound curve, universal line of beauty, give it a little foot, and then two parallelograms out, up, down, and in, and then out, down, and up. You can also compound curve, something fancy like this, or we can get fancy like that. Of course, if you want to do just a normal K, simple. Okie dokie. Next, let's do the I. The I, I'm going to drop a couple down, mark off my X height. The I is, here is our parallelogram line. We're going to come from behind the parallelogram, one space. We're going to curve down, hit the baseline, all the way up. So we're basically making an upside down heart shape, or a club shape. And then we're going to universal line of beauty right through that shape down to the bottom and give it a little foot. So we're going to start just above the X height, touch the X height, up, universal line of beauty down, low foot. You could make this a little bit bigger if you're using 1 to 3. Or you can use it really big. But this is not a calligraphic eye. That's a cursive eye. If you're learning Spencerian, that's an eye. So it just depends on how you want to learn. But I encourage the behind, up, down through, and out. Pretty simple, right? Once you think about it. Alright, let's drop 2 down, marked off an X height. The next one is J. So the J has the same shape as the I, only starting just above the X height, we're going to start just above the baseline. So here's our baseline. And this one we're going to go 2 up and 2 down. So we're going to start at behind the line. We're going to call this our line. This is the 55. We're going to start this parallelogram line. We're going to go down, touch the baseline, swirl up, wave under, if we turn this upside down, it should look like a half of a heart or an ear. Okay. And then we're going to go right down that universal line of beauty, down to the second descender, or just above the second descender, like the 1.5 descender. And into a descending stem loop. So, behind, circle up, come to a point, stop, come down, 1.5 down, into a descending stem loop. Alright, let's drop a couple down, mark off an X height. The next one is the F. The F and the T. Let's do the T first because it's easy. The T is a universal line of beauty down to the baseline, and then a reverse oval into a hat. And there's always a little compound curve right in here. So you could come down, make a large bucket on the bottom, and a wiggle on the top. You can turn this into a spiral, and you can even go like that, something fancy. And then let's drop 2 down, mark off our next height. The F is kind of like a T. The F comes like this, and then we're going to do a reverse oval into a wiggle, and then we're going to do a cross and a tick. So it looks like a T, but with its tongue hanging out. So you can make it F with a giant bowl on the bottom, tick down, or you can make it with a spiral, tick down. One of my favorite ways to make the F is to go make a bowl and come back up to that X height, and then go through that spine, tick down, and then make the hat. Some people like to make the hat first, and then come back, and then go through it that way. So that's another way to do it. All kinds of ways to do F. Alright, so the next one we're going to learn is the P, the B, and the R. Let's drop 2 down, mark off the next side. The P starts out with a universal line of beauty. Simple universal line of beauty. And then we're going to do a reverse oval. And we're going to continue the reverse oval into a half oval, touching the spine of that universal line of beauty. So, just like we did with the F, you can make the bowl bigger. You can make it into a spiral. You can make it into a fancy P. or go backwards. But I prefer just a very simple P. The next one, let's drop 2 down, mark off the next side. Next one is the B. So B starts off just like the P did. Reverse oval into a P. And then from here, we're going to make another oval, half oval underneath. And we're going to make it just a micron larger than the first one. So down a little bit bigger in the bowl. Stop, lift, point, down, half bowl. You could turn this into spiral. And then you can go so just I prefer just simple B. You can put a little loop right in here. Hi Oms, how are you? I should put the timestamps. I can never tell when you guys come in. 35. Oh good, you haven't been there that long. Alright. So that's how to do the B. The next one that we're going to do is the R. So let's drop 2 down, mark off next side. The R starts off like a P with a universal line of beauty, and reverse oval into a P. And then right here we're going to take and we're going to go straight down and we're going to come out from that spine. Come out from that spine and go down to the baseline, make an underturn and come right back up to the exit. So spine of the P, reverse oval, come out, down, and up. And that makes an R. You can make the bowl bigger. You can turn it into a spirally if you want to. But I prefer just a little foot. And it takes a little bit of practice. I'm not perfect. I don't know anyone who is. They're claiming to be perfect. Clearly lost their mind. Alright, let's see. Alright, so we have gone over the A, the M, the W, the V, and the N. And then we did the H, the K, the I, the J, the T, the F, the P, B, and R. Alright, so next week we will go over the U, the Y, the X, the S, the L, and the D, the C, the Q, and the E. And then we will end off with O, Q, and Z. So let me show you how these look on here. Now this is just using a pencil. It's nothing fancy. We're not working on any pressures or nothing right now. We're just getting the letters perfectly knowledgeable in our brain. Okay, so if you're trying to be perfect, don't be perfect. It's not time for perfect yet. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to mark off our height. Oh, and that went really awry at the end. Oh, and it went awry again. Damn it. Okay. Okay, so Okay, so when we do the H, we got compound curve, universal line of beauty, universal line of beauty, bow tie in the middle. And then we do the K, we do another compound curve, universal line of beauty down to the bottom, little space over, 1/4 height, up to the X height, down to the X height, up to the second ascender, down to the X height and into the spine, and then out, down, and up. And then we go from behind the line, we swoop down to the X height, around, up to the second ascender, heart shape, universal line of beauty down to the bottom with a little foot. You can give all of your little friends a foot. And then we did the J, which is the larger version of the I. So we come from behind, swirl all the way up, through there, down to the first quarter, 1.25 descending stem line, and then the T, universal line of beauty down, a little foot, up over for a hat, and then the F is a universal line of beauty down to the baseline, and then a little hat, and then a tick and a down, and then the P is I'm going to go from the universal line of beauty down to the baseline, give it a little foot. Each of these gets a little foot, and then reverse oval into a P. So B is the universal line of beauty down to the baseline, reverse oval for the P, and another reverse oval for the B. And then the R is universal line of beauty down to the baseline, and then a reverse oval for the P, and then out, underturn, and up for the R. And that's how we start that. So there we go. Shall I keep going? Have I bored you all to tears? I'm really good at it. Boring people to tears, that is. Okay. Let's do the next group. Why not? The next group is the U, the Y, and the X. So the U starts in with some lead would be nice. Reverse oval into an underturn, and then an underturn. And some people start in with like a fancy, you could do a really big horizontal oval into an underturn. But this is the basic U, and then the Y is kind of an extension of the U. mark off XI, drop a couple down, mark off an XI. The Y, it starts out with a U shape, and then we come down through the baseline almost to the 1.5, and we do a descending stem loop and then an upstroke. So do Y, U, descending stem loop, upstroke. And that's how we do the Y. And then the last one, let's drop a couple down, mark off an XI. The X is a reverse oval into a reverse C shape, or like the X stroke. And then we have a modified C stroke. So, or we can go loop, straight across, loop, and then cross in the middle. They almost look the same. Barely even touching. And that's the basic X stroke. Okay. Let's show you how they look on here. So here's our baseline. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we have our P, which comes universal line of beauty down to the baseline with a little foot. Reverse oval into a P. Oops. I already did the P. I already did this. Why didn't you tell me? Just kidding. Okay, so we're going to do a reverse oval. And then we're going to do an underturn. And then we're going to do another underturn. Up. So there's the U. And then the Y is an extension of the U. Goes down 1.5 ways. Descending stem loop. Upstroke. Try not to flick. I tend to flick. Nice curve to the X height. And then the X stroke is reverse oval into a leg, just like it's also like a Z stroke. And then we have a modified C stroke, or a number 6 stroke, so a 9 and a 6 basically. So that's how they would look on that. Questions, comments, concerns? Have I lost you? Are you all asleep? Time for a little stretch. Oh. Oh. I need a nap. And I have to go to El Parmesan. Okay, then let's drop 2 down, mark off an X-light. Then we're going to do the S, the L, and the D. S starts off 4 parallelograms thick. We're going to go across the from the baseline up to the second ascender, curve around, come back to that backbone, all the way down to the baseline, and then circle this front leg. So, up, you can go way up or like just a little bit up. You can even do like a half S. Start at the just below the second ascender, curve up, hit the second ascender, curve down to the baseline, and then up, and then a serif. Okay. So you can do like something like that, maybe. Okay, and then the next letter that we're going to learn is L. So the L comes at the first ascender, down to the X height, up to the second ascender, curves down through that universal line of beauty down to the baseline, out one square, one parallelogram line, and then hop up, down, and out. So we do a compound curve at the bottom instead of doing a compound curve at the top like we did with the T and the F. So we could do a big horizontal oval into an L like that, or you could just do, oh, that might be an S. Yep, that's an S. Never mind. So you definitely need to make an extra leg for the L. Try to make these spaces the same size. So if you make one parallelogram big, try and make this one parallelogram big, so people know that it's an L. And then the D is, I don't know why they put this one in this category, but we have the universal line of beauty down to the baseline, an extended baseline, and then a little hop up like we did with the L, and then we're going to make a very thin reverse oval into a very wide reverse, an oval. So universal line of beauty down, extended tail, up into a very round oval into an oval. And you want to make sure that you come up just at the same 55-degree line as your tail. So if we make a short tail, it kind of looks like that. But if you make a really long tail, 1, 2, 3, 4, tiny stomach, large, huge, this one looks like it's going to fall over. So I'm going to make sure it's not too wide. Okay, and then we have the C, the G, and the E. The C is a horizontal oval into a vertical oval into a little bit of a spiral at the end. Okay, so I just like to go like this with my C. I like to go like this with my C. These are just different ways to make a C. Even when you're making your D, you could come down with the universal line of beauty and then start the parallelogram behind the D And you could go forwards. And then do a little hop reverse at the end. There's all kinds of ways to make letters. As long as they look good and they're beautiful, that's all that matters. Okay? Alright, so then let's drop a couple down, mark off an exit. The G is like the Y of the U. So we do a horizontal oval into a vertical oval. And then we do a descending stem loop. So come down 1.5 spaces into a descending stem loop, and then we have an upstroke at the end. Now if these don't match up, that's fine. You want a little bit of space between the baseline and that space where the descending stem loop touches that spine. And then you can do like a half of a thing like this. You could do a large thing like that. Alright, then let's drop a couple down, mark it off for next site. And then there is the E. So the E has a horizontal oval into a spiral out, and then a spiral in. So horizontal oval, spiral out, spiral in. Or you could just spiral out, spiral in. And then you can do like a compound curve, spiral out, spiral in. Okie dokie. Let's show you how those look on the paper. So S comes across and up, down, hug, L, go L, out, D, go down, long leg, short belly, long back. And then a C is horizontal entry oval, vertical oval, spiral. Horizontal G is a horizontal entry oval, vertical oval, descending stem loop, upstroke, and then we have the E. Let's just do one over here. So horizontal oval, spiral out, and spiral in. And that's how we do that one. We got room. Do we have enough for one more? I think we have enough room for one more. We have enough room for a couple more sets. Let's do the last set, which is the O, the Q, and the Z. Drop 2 down, mark. The O is a horizontal oval into a vertical oval into a spiral. Or you can do a horizontal oval into a spiral. Pretty simple, right? I like to do a horizontal oval into a vertical oval into a spiral. That's my favorite. And then the Q, drop a couple down, mark off an X sign. The Q is kind of like an O, a horizontal oval vertical oval, and then we hop across that line and wiggle out in a compound curve. Or you can do the 2Q, in which we go just from the first ascender to the quarter height, back up to the second ascender, curve down to the baseline, and then we do like an L-shaped loop at the bottom and a compound curve at the end. Alexa, stop. You can start at the bottom, do a reverse oval, and then a loop and a wiggle at the end. It's also another way to make a Q. Dang it, I keep yawning. Okay, and then let's drop 2 down. Let's do the last letter. The last letter is Z. So in this one, we're going to make a Q. Only we're going to stop. We're going to do a little loop up and then into a descending stem loop and then an upstroke. The other way to do a Z is we're going to do a swipe up, a swipe over, a swipe down, curve up and in and cross. So up, over, down, through, up, and cross. Pretty easy. And that's it. Those are all the letters of the alphabet. Let's see. Q, and Z. And there we have all of the letters of the alphabet. Now we just need to put them together. So we have our A, our B, C, D, E, F, G, two, three, four, GH, compound curve, spine in the middle, I, J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, R, S, 1, 2, 3, 4, this, we come round and up, down, spiral, T, U, V, W, X, Y, and Z. And there we have all of the letters of the alphabet. What y'all think about that? Well, this has been going on for an hour now. We haven't learned any pressure things. We're going to go into that next week. So that's all I have for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. Don't forget to check out the links in the doobly-doo. And I will be back very soon with another video. So take care until then. Not for me, we have more letters. What do you mean not for you? We haven't done the numbers yet. We haven't done the ampersand. We haven't done any of those yet. Ampersand. We haven't done any of the ampersand or any of that yet. Okay, so get out there and enjoy. Oh yeah, those I don't teach those. Sorry. Those are special characters. I don't do special characters. I don't know if there isn't anyone that I even know who teaches special characters. I'm sorry. I think that one is A, and the other one is O, and the other one is A. But I don't know. Anyway, that's all I've got for today. Get out there and enjoy your life. Be with the people you love. Tell them you love them. And I love you to pieces. Okay, love you. Bye. Have a great day.